Hey everybody, I'm Dirk. Welcome to the 5-Hole. Tonight I am talking about a new thread started by Chris Propfe, where he was highlighting 5 albums that have got some kind of a numeric connection to the title, to the name of the band. I suppose it could be to one of the songs. I went with either the name of the band or the title of the album. So, without further ado, here are my 5 picks for this thread. First one, De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. So this album came out, I think it was like 1988, and 1989, Tommy Boy Records. This album's a little bit hard to come by in good shape for a decent price. And it's one of those albums that you can't find streaming. And for the longest time, I used to have a CD of it when I was in college, and I lost it, and I don't know what happened to it. You know, one of those things. And so I started, looking for it online. I was like, well, I just want to listen to this album. It's a cool album. I used to love this album. And looking around online, it's not on any streaming service whatsoever. It's only been reissued a few times since it came out on vinyl, and I found out the reason why it has not been online as a streaming song is because when they made this album, it was sort of the early days of really heavy sampling in hip hop music. And they sampled so much music in this album that when they went to try to license it, I guess, for use online, nobody would do it. They had too much music by other artists, and either they didn't know how to do it correctly, or they maybe they stepped on the wrong toes along the way. I don't know what the story is exactly, but I do know that they weren't able to make it as a streaming album, and I don't think it ever will. It will be. And I think you can still find it maybe on CD, but anyway, that is my first one. 3 Feet High and Rising, De La Soul. Awesome album. Next album, Miles Davis. Plus 19, Miles Ahead. This is an album that was a collaboration with Gil Evans, and it was done while he was still Miles Davis was still under contract with Prestige. This album is a pretty big departure from the stuff he was doing with Prestige. It's a big band. The Plus 19 is actually the orchestra that was put together by Gil Evans to play with Miles Davis. The arrangements are all done by Gil Evans, and it's a great album. It's certainly nothing like the stuff he was doing for Prestige at the time, and they had to hold on to this album until Miles Davis finished his contract with Prestige. Kind of different, just because of the fact that it was big band, and at the time, big band was not really the hottest thing around. People were doing more bop, hard bop, and anyway, it's a cool album though. The next one is Time for Two, Anita O'Day and Cal Tjader. This album is one of the projects done by Creed Taylor, produced by Creed Taylor. So Anita O'Day, just an awesome jazz singer. She was she's a pretty hardcore singer. Maybe not the greatest vocalist in the world, but had amazing timing, great rhythm. She sounded great and could just really swing. Cal Jader had the Latin. He kind of brought the Latin to this album. He's known for his vibraphone work. Played a little bit of piano, but really got into the Latin scene. And this album, I don't know. I don't hear much about this album, but or Cal Jader for that matter. I really like Cal Jader. I like vibraphones though. Not everybody does. But this is a pretty good album if you get a chance to have a listen. Even if you just stream it, check it out. It's pretty cool. Next one, Duran Duran, 7 and the Ragged Tiger. This is yet another from my high school days. Let's see if we can figure out the year on this one. I don't know for sure. I think it's probably 84, maybe 83. The big one on here was the Reflex. You know, Duran Duran's was always really poppy stuff, but this one really was like almost like a dance club kind of an album. It's not my favorite Duran Duran album, but it does have a number in the name. And then my last pick, Beastie Boys, To the Five Boroughs, and that is it's an awesome album. This came out, this is the first album they did after the attacks on New York City. I think this came out in 2004. It's a really cool album. It's got some mentions of well, a lot of mentions of New York City, but you know, they actually call it out in one of the songs. It's a love letter to New York City. You know, I personally think pretty much all the Beastie Boys albums are awesome, but I really like this one too. And for our purposes tonight, it is number 5 in the 5 boroughs. Okay. Thanks, Chris Propfe, for putting that out. And be sure to go over and have a look at his channel. He's got an awesome channel, a lot of good content. I'd like to thank all my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please click the subscribe button below. And we will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.